Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Take Five. My name is RTK. Say hi, Sly.
Hi, what's up?
I'm gonna just state this before. Me and Slyro have recorded this before, and I lost the footage. So we're re-recording now. Luckily, it's
Y-
been like 3 months. We,
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
yeah, it's
Um,
it's. Well, I was in the middle of moving, and I'm real busy because I have a baby, and stuff. Stuff is
yeah,
going
I,
on.
I I decide that I'm not gonna upload this on my end anymore because RTK's side looks so much better and is way cooler, and he couldn't handle the responsibility and he just flubbed it.
I had it all edited too. I literally have the Vegas
No,
file, and then I go in, and then you know how if you open Vegas, it says, "Oh, certain files are missing." I'm like, "Oh, I hope I didn't delete it." And the one thing that's gone is the audio of me and you talking.
yeah, that's annoying. Well, oh whatever. We're just gonna do it again and do it even better, maybe.
Worse probably. Anyways, this topic for Take Five is top five favorite anime openings, and I might include audio, I might not include the audio. I don't care if I'm monetized anyways, as long as the video is not blocked.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the
so
biggest thing.
so we'll see. I already have a hard enough time with the clips I put in. The Japan just like to block
Yeah,
anything
I
with
don't.
clips, anything with
I don't.
clips.
I don't know how people live off of like anime YouTube. It seems impossible.
Dude, they gotta. It has to be like Patreon and stuff.
Yeah,
There's no way. Cause if I have this hard a time and I get like no views on it anyways. All right. Well, Sly, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I can go first.
All
Yeah, I
right.
was like, I don't remember what we did before.
Well, you should
Um,
remember to snake it.
yeah,
If
yeah, yeah. We're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try to remember to snake it. So wait, what's that order gonna be? So then I do five, and then four, three, and then okay, that
and then you do
probably works.
three, two, and then yeah,
Something like that. Something like that.
yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I like generally giving like an overall spiel. Is just like anime openings are very good. There's a lot of really good ones. I try to pick ones that aren't just like the most popular like favorite. I tried to pick ones that were like these are the ones that I like and have stood the test of time for a little while. It's a mixture of just how catchy the song is and some of the visuals, sometimes the lyrics, which I will go into. But I mean, yeah, I could have put like 30 different things on this list, and in a different time period, I could switch out like half of these songs. So that's just is what it is. But so yeah, to start off, my number five is my favorite anime opening from last year, 2022, which was the second opening for Awashi.
Oh yeah, that's
Is
right.
Yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. The name of the song is called Presence from Superfly. I really, really like the I really like the song. I mean, first off, I really like Awashi. That's not like a requirement for a good anime opening, but I mean, fantastic anime, especially in the second half. The song, one thing that I do like in just sort of music and especially anime openings is songs that sort of start like slow. It like so the opening starts sort of like slow, but has like a very like steady like percussive backbeat whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's clearly building like the whole time,
It's
and then
chugging on, yeah, is it?
yeah, like it lands with like a and then it builds into the big chorus or whatever, and I just love the vocals. The animation is also just really cool. I think it's very uh representative of like what happens in the show, especially in like that arc, because like when the music is slow, um the characters and whatnot, they're like really struggling, they're kind of looking tired, they're like, oh no, whatever, there's like some conflict, there's like more dark colors, whatever, and then as it starts to pick up, you sort of see like the characters, and especially Ashito, the main character, sort of like pick his head up and like keep trying, and then they start like running a little bit, and they start doing more like teamwork, and I feel like that's representative of sort of what happens in the show as well. Where typical sports anime stuff, you start to struggle, that they work as a team to get better, type deal, and it just it did that like really really well. I should have probably had the lyrics put up in front of me. I do remember some of the lyrics, like also sort of being like a pretty general of like, oh, feeling so bad, but no matter what, we're gonna keep pushing forward. We're gonna keep trying and do our best and yada yada yada. But I don't have those in front of me right now because I did not prepare that well. But yeah, it's just a fantastic song, fantastic opening for a fantastic anime. So, and it still holds up. I still listen to it a year after the show came out. So it is, as of now, still holding the test of time. So yeah.
All right, good stuff. You were right about me instantly remembering stuff.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I don't remember like most of RTK's list. He doesn't remember half of mine, but like I was like, hey, as soon as you say like one thing, like everything's just gonna fall into place.
Okay, so my number 5, and I think in my original list I had like changed it last minute, but now it's like solidified as the number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Hunter x Hunter's opening. I think it's called Departure.
Oh wow, I actually did not remember this.
Yeah. This is I don't really care about the animation of the opening, but the song is just such a banger, and like I like it so much because I feel like it reflects a lot on Gon, and as a character, you know, I think some of the lyrics were like oh, dude, I can't remember. Shoot, I wish I had my bullet points, but like,
I vaguely remember having to do with like going on a journey and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very upbeat,
you know?
and like, you know, positive about never like giving up, and Gon's kind of like that until, you know, a certain point where he's like all about revenge. But you know, it's I feel like it's very very good. And if you haven't heard the song, it's an older style song, I think. But I really like it a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's one that I can just play at any given time of the day and just be like, yep, this is a really good song. I listen to it at least once a day anyway, so that...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said that Hunter x Hunter has one opening for all 140 whatever episodes that it has, and the song never gets old. I mean, it does switch between using the first verse and the second verse, but essentially, you know, it has the same song, and it switches up the visuals like for each arc, but yeah, it's the same song, but it never feels like old. So it's just very classic, very like iconic.
No, it's like the Yu Yu Hakusho opening. You know, that's super great.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing with that as well, right?
Yeah. And then Rurouni Kenshin's was pretty good. I think they changed like 50 episodes in though.
Yeah, I don't remember that one as well.
It's called
or
Freckles.
I should say at all.
Called Freckles.
Why?
I don't know. Anyways, I guess I want to go on to my number 4 then, and my
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we're snaking. So my number 4 is Re:Zero's opening 1, and I like this, and the song's good. It's not the most memorable of songs, but it's good. I mostly like this opening for the visuals that it gives, because if you know anything about Re:Zero, it's starting over again when Subaru dies, blah blah blah. And the opening does that in a very nice way where you see blood spatter on the ground, and then it reverses back into Subaru, and then you see him go throughout all this stuff and multiple versions of himself going through and dying, and finally one takes the other by the shoulder and he's like, don't worry, I got this, and moves forward, and then the visuals just kind of repeat themselves, because at the end you see him die and then the blood splats onto the ground. And I really like how well that ties in. I mean, it's not hard to tie it into that kind of concept, but I really like how they did it, and since I like Re:Zero so much, it's really cool. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't really have additional notes for that one.
You don't.
I think you were the one that even had to point out to me that the end sort of like ends off at the same place that it starts, and like it could loop into itself.
Yeah, I think it's.
And I was like, oh, it's obvious, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I like it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I want to hear your 4 because I don't remember this one.
Oh, well, I mean, you know my opinion on this because my number 4 is the best Code Geass opening.
Oh,
obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is the final one, World End, opening number 5. The best one. Oh, I love emphasizing that because, yeah, obviously, I like colors, I do, but it does not hit the same. And a lot of that just has to do with musically. I think the song hits a lot of things that I really like.
You really
Um,
emphasize a lot on drum beats, Slyro,
yeah,
and
I
that one
love. I
has
mean,
a drum beat that
I love drums. Also, when the chorus kicks in and like the strings kick in, I really like strings and stuff as well. Or whatever that is. I don't know if it's a string or a synth or whatever it is. It's but like that's kind of like playing like more aggressively like in the chorus or whatever, and it builds up into it. It's all very good. But also, the opening and everything sort of represents the end of Code Geass, which is one of my favorite endings in all of anime. Code Geass, one of my favorite anime of all time, and I really like the final arc like of it. So the song and the visuals, the lyrics, all sort of represent the ending of Code Geass and like what happens and sort of the themes. I don't think there's anything like too like on the nose like specific, but it sort of all sort of ties into itself really really nicely. And I mean the visuals are nice, but yeah, this is one where I think the song I would lean more heavy into the song, but also similar to like you with ReZero, where it's just like also the animation attached to the time that I watched it, the amount of time that I have spent listening to this. Like Code Geass is one of the earlier animes that I ever like watched, so I mean this song's been in my rotation for like a decade at this point. It's that actually sounds weird to say out loud. I'm like, that actually might be
I
an
was just
underselling it,
thinking
which is a
about
little
like
weird.
how long
Oh
has
gosh,
Slyro been
oh
watching
gosh.
anime?
That was one of the earlier ones, but I remember where I worked, and so like that had to have been like between like 2011 and 2013. Like it probably is like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh
because
gosh,
I
I'm
don't
old.
I don't count stuff like DBZ or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh as like anime because you
I
don't really
mean,
think of it as anime when you're watching it as a kid. Like
I count it, but
I
like
it's included,
it's
but it's
different.
also
Yeah,
like it's different, man. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah. Like I
anime,
guess
but also not. When you realize what anime actually is, and then you're like, oh, technically, I think Naruto was my first anime. When I really no, because I watched anime way before that. That's I watched stuff like Inuyasha and Big O and Gundam stuff. So never mind. That's not my first one.
yeah. You were definitely into the world of anime like way earlier.
I think I started
Uh,
watching anime when I was like 8.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, I mean outside of like Dragon Ball Z and then like Pokemon and Digimon, but like yeah, those were like cartoons. Like I didn't that wasn't like, oh, this is what anime is. So
Yep.
yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. You understand. You understand me. Um.
I do.
Anything else to say? Nothing else.
No, I don't think so. I think I covered all the bases there.
Oh, okay.
I go right into three, right or no?
Yes, because that was year 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm actually opening up again in the background so I can talk with the visuals. My number three is the opening for Given. It's called Kizuato. It's a really really good song. Given is a music anime, but also a romance ish. It has yeah. I guess that's part of the tag.
Is there kissing
There's a kiss.
at,
No, yeah.
at the
No, there's
end? All
definitely.
right, so yeah, it's a romance.
Yeah. Probably more than one.
Oh,
But not by the same characters always. I forget how much it goes into the
how
side.
much kissing are you watching?
No, Given is so good. But anyway, the opening is fantastic. It's hard to go into every detail as to like why it's such a good opening without spoiling some stuff. But essentially the main character is sort of dealing with a past trauma, like a very recent trauma that is sort of like giving him like trouble with like moving on. He's sort of at a standstill, like in his life, not really doing much, and then finds music, finds band, helps overcome that, that sort of thing. And the opening, I think, sort of while being like a very catchy song, it also just sort of alludes to the state of the main character. One of my favorite things because it's one of those that just like as you watch it, I would see the opening and I'll be like, oh, this lines up with this lines up with this. And so actually one of the earliest shots in the opening is the main character like walking up to like a green light, and like the light is green, but then he like stops and like looks behind, like and I feel like that's very on the nose of just like, oh, like life's moving, you can go, but like he's still focused on the past and he can't move on. Things like that, which is really nice. You get good shots of like all the band members, the main four. I know at towards the middle, like going into the chorus, it touches on the lyrics mention all four seasons, and all four of the band members, their names are like based off of like a season. So it's, I don't know. I thought it was sort of clever how they sort of tie that in. Whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. I assume it was.
Is that the name of the band? Four Seasons?
I believe for most of the show, or at least part of the show, I think their initial name is like The Seasons or something like that. Yeah. And then the name of the band actually gets changed to Given. I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but not really. So, yeah. I just think it's really good. I want to scroll through because then there's also like shots of the main character like clinging onto the guitar, which the guitar is basically like a relic of somebody that he loved that's like no longer there essentially. And so seeing stuff like that and being a character that I really like, and having shots of episodes where emotions hit hard, just like any time that I look back at this opening, I'm just like, I can like put myself and just remember of like, oh man, that's when this happened, and like I can get into the feels a little bit. I mean, I really love Given. I really love the music. I think everything ties together so well, and that is why it is one of the best openings and my third favorite of all time as of right now.
All right, I'm starting to remember the rest of your list. Okay. Okay. So my opening for number 3. Sorry, I was distracted by my wife sneezing. It's the 13th opening of Bleach, and it is called Ranbu no Melody by Sid.
Okay.
One of my I like this song just like a lot, but for the reason I like it so much as an anime opening is just in the story where the anime takes place. So it's towards the end of a certain arc where like they're fighting the big bad who's been pulling strings since the very beginning, since episode 1, having stuff all like planned out, and he's finally taking over the Soul Society and everything, and he's starting to kill all these people left and right, captains and lieutenants and friends of Ichigo, and it's just a really cool moment. Then it focuses on one of my favorite characters from Bleach, and you probably don't remember, but he's that white-haired guy with the sword that extends.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fine. You barely got into the Soul Society stuff.
Yeah.
So he Bleach has been out a long time, so if it's spoilers for people who haven't watched Bleach, whatever. Ichimaru, Gen Ichimaru, is he spends his entire time teamed up with Aizen, the main bad guy, right? He's been on Aizen's side since the very beginning, since he was like a child, I'm pretty sure. And he does this all in the effort of trying to eventually to kill Aizen. And in this specific part of the story, he enacts his plan to try and take Aizen out. And he's one of my favorite characters because he's a guy who does bad things for what he thinks is right, and I think that's most bad guys, but like his is a little bit more relatable, and unfortunately it doesn't work out for him in the end. But you know, it's also a really good song. The visuals on the anime opening, like they're very melancholy, and it really reflects this part of the story in which Ichimaru enacts his plan, and that's why I like it so much. It just fits so well. I think that's pretty much all I gotta say about it, though.
Nice. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I know Bleak is very near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Checks
Yes.
out.
It's right there next to my clogged arteries. Okay, so I guess I move on to number 2.
You sure do.
And I've talked to you about this one plenty of times before, Slyro, so you should know Colors of the Heart by
Oh
Uberworld.
yeah.
I think it's opening. Shoot, what opening is it? Opening 3 or 4 of Blood Plus. Um, I really like the song is just a banger. Like a lot of Uberworld songs are just really good, but this one, the visuals and the song lyrics just reflect like they match each other so well. There's so many different artistic styles set up in this opening, and then one of the lyrics is it goes something along the lines of like, I'll the colors of my heart, I'll paint them something every day. I can't remember, dang it. But I need my bullet points, man. I need my bullet points. But he'll paint the colors different each day. So like, it's something along those lines. But the visuals are just really, really nice. There's like a chalk style, there's like charcoal, you see what looks like crayon, there's watercolor. It looks like all those different styles of medium that just look really cool, and just doesn't really have any bearing on the story, but they just look so nice and the song matches so well that I just enjoy it a lot. And it's a banger of a song. Another song that I literally listen to almost every day.
Yeah, yeah. I remember looking it up. I feel like I've probably heard it multiple times because every time you mention it, I'm just like, oh yeah, let me listen to that again. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, it's solid.
It's good, man. It's good stuff. It's pretty dang good. Would you
Nice.
like to go, sir?
Yeah, this actually kind of works out perfectly that I get to do 2 and then snake right into my 1. Because these 2 openings they've basically just been 1A and 1B. I guess my number 2 technically was, I heard that first, so that was my number 1 for the longest time, and then my actual number 1 just comes from a better series, which is like the main tiebreaker. But this is essentially just 1A and 1B. I feel, very similar to them both. So my number 2 is the first opening to Guilty Crown, my dearest.
Yeah.
Yes. Guilty Crown is a series that I think is fine. I don't think it's amazing. I haven't watched it in a long time. That was like years ago. But the opening is incredible. I mean, I've already talked musically about like the sort of things I like, and this sort of hits every note where it starts off with like the little opening thing, and then as it transitions into the verse is very slow with like a lot of the drum sort of acting is like the progression of it. And so you have that sort of like building up, and then it builds up to the chorus, which is just like drops with this big bombastic like chorus. It's so catchy. The voice is so good. I think the I don't know if she actually does, but the song is essentially like meant to be like from the like singer, which is like the main girl like in the show.
Yeah, she's like voicing her lips are moving to like the lyrics and parts of the
yeah. And that's another thing is like the lyrics are just like incredible because I mean essentially just as a song, the song is basically just saying like no matter what, I would do anything for you. No matter what happens, if everybody turns on you, I'll still stand by your side. Yada yada yada. All the sort of stuff which tracks how the show goes from what I remember, at least like as it gets to the ending. I'm a little fuzzy on the actual details, but I do know that sentiment essentially carries through in the show as well. So it just sort of all meshes together so well that I really can't find a flaw like with the opening like at all, especially as the song. I think this would probably be, if we were just ranking songs, I think this might actually be my number 1. But as a full opening, I guess technically the visuals are just like fine, especially during the verses. It's like it just kind of is showing characters that exist. I don't think there's anything like much deeper than that. But once it goes in the chorus, I guess it's also part of it though. Part of why I like it is that like when the music is like slow and calm, it's like not much is happening on screen, and then as it gets to the chorus, the action starts to intensify, and it all matches up really well. But It doesn't do anything crazy in the visual department. And like the lyrics are good, but I think that also holds true for my actual number one. But that is why I really like this song, and that's one I feel like Guilty Crown is also like a series that I probably watched like I don't know 7-8 years ago. So like this song has been in my rotation for a long time. So that sort of helps. But I don't really have much to say about my number two, so I'll transition to my number one, which is Sign from Naruto, the seventh opening of Shippuden. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's a song that when did I watch Naruto for the first time? Was that 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago?
Whenever Chaos convinced you to do it.
Yeah, I don't remember how many years ago, but it wasn't too long ago. But the song is incredible. I mean, as evidenced by my number four being the Code Geass, opening. I really like Flow as a music artist. They're one of my favorites. They basically make nonstop bangers. So as a song, it's very catchy. It has everything that I'm looking for in like a J-rock type of song. The visuals are really good. It comes from like one of the best arcs in the entire series, which really helps. And then the lyrics are really, really good. It has a couple of just like very like on the nose references to sort of the relationship between Sasuke and Itachi, which is really, really nice. I know in the chorus it says something like, "Do you remember that the sky was full of tears," or whatever, and like that just makes me remember like the scene is just like, oh, they do like the flashback and it's like you can't tell that, or Sasuke didn't remember that Itachi was crying because like it was raining or whatever. Things like that. There's a part that I think is only in the full version, and I don't think it's actually in the opening little version because it's I think it's like the final course or like the final pre-course that essentially says something like let me see, I actually brought it up where it says from the beginning you knew I was the only one who wouldn't leave you again, which also just kind of just reminds me of like the I will love you always like moment, which is one of my favorite moments ever. So again, I don't know how intentional that was, just because the two moments are like very far apart like in the story. So but it just sort of reminds me of like that whole relationship, and I think the song and the lyrics do a really good job of that, on top of having really good animation, really good music. They sync together really, really nicely. It's just one of those. It's like it's impossible to skip, and it hits every note. It checks every box. I cannot find a single flaw, and it's a song that's been on repeat since I've heard it. So yeah, that's why it's my number one of all time, and it has stayed like that for a while, and I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Yeah, it's really good. The opening focuses a lot on Jiraiya and Itachi and stuff, and Jiraiya and Itachi, I think, died on the same day, or like relatively close to each other. If I wanna.
I don't know. I feel like you would probably know that more than I would.
I'm pretty sure they both died on the same day, if not like back-to-back days, and that would make sense because those both happened in the same like few episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a good song. It's not my favorite Naruto opening. My favorite Naruto opening is opening 19. And there's 3 different visual animations for this. I could talk about the first 2, but they're not as worth the third opening, which I think they only used for when Sasuke and Naruto are specifically fighting in the Valley of the End. Or Final Valley, or whatever they call it in English. I don't remember. But like it focuses on Naruto and Sasuke, and they're like falling through the sky, and they're like spinning around each other. And as it shows them younger, and as they're growing up, and they get all these flashbacks, and it's just like it's one of the most perfect ending openings I've ever seen to visually capture the story and like the whole build up between this fight between these two. How Sasuke is trying to cast out everything that he holds near and dear to really become what he thinks he's supposed to be, and Naruto never giving up on his friends, and it's just so good, man. It's just like one of the best openings I have ever seen in my life, and the song's so good too. I hope one of these musically inclined people does an English opening version of it. That is good.
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Thank you. Please. I don't care who, as long as it's good. um, but it's so good, man. And Naruto Shippuden just holds such a tight tight grip on my heart, man. Like you think ReZero and like Mashoka Tensei are right there, but no, Naruto's like grasping it, making my heart beat.
It's been there for a long time.
Yeah, it has, man. It's just the visuals are so good, and hopefully I'm able to include some of these so I can show the viewers on this on what I'm talking about, because my words just don't do justice for
Yeah,
something
no,
that great.
it's really really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I don't remember if I made like a hard rule of like I wasn't going to include like two openings from the same series.
I think you
Naruto is obviously
did
like
say that in the
okay,
last time. I'm pretty sure you did.
okay. Well, yeah. I don't remember. I mean, to be fair, I think I remember a long time ago we like ranked Naruto openings. I think I still stand Blood Circulator is probably just number 3. I think I like Silhouette a little bit more, but um I don't know. If I was actually would I put Silhouette on here? It would have a chance for 5.
Silhouette's a banger of a song,
It's
but
so
the
good.
visuals I don't really care as much
That's
for.
no, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
like
That's
kind of Boon is a good band. They have good songs, but it's just not that great of a opening.
I got you. I got you.
But yeah, I think that's all of them, right? That's
Yeah.
all.
We did it. We got through it.
Yeah, I think we shaved off like 10 or 15 minutes that we did last time.
Probably. It's crazy. I'm not used to like making progress so fast. Like I
Yeah.
thought this was supposed to take like an hour and a half. Like what's going on?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. It saves me time editing, so I don't care. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Make sure to go subscribe to Slyro. I'll always have a link for him in the description of these videos that he's involved in. He's not, like he said, he's not going to be uploading this on his channel, so you just get to see me. But give give Sly some views. He wants them.
I do.
He craves the views. But yeah, I'll try and get these back more regularly, at least once a month, because it means Sly has to go on vacations every single month, like 6 different
I
times.
got like 1 left. What do you mean?
Okay, well, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.